What's up, guys, and welcome back to another... Hey, guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the 6th episode of the podcast. I forgot what number we were on.
Or 7th or
No,
4th.
I'm pretty sure it's the 6th. I
Or
don't know right
2nd.
now. This is probably the 9th episode.
Or I'm probably on the tooth.
The tooth? Oh, my teeth!
Or thirth.
The third.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of the podcast. We're improvised as always. We don't come prepared. Who comes prepared these days? Anyways, so the only thing that I wanted to talk about was I've been uploading YouTube Shorts, and they're literally just my TikToks, but I put them on YouTube and see how they do. Except for one video, which me and Evan recorded a long time ago. And so we have, a couple of roommates, and one of them likes to excessively buy bread but never use any of the bread.
He likes to buy 4 loaves of bread and then make them all rot.
Yes. and it's been going on for years
2
now,
years.
actually. Yeah. So we the one day, it was past expiration date, but it wasn't like moldy. Like, I don't know.
No, it was just slightly stale.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly, where it's like you don't want to eat it, but you totally could.
Yeah.
You're like desperate.
Yeah, and it wouldn't like kill you to eat it either. Like,
It's not like you're desperate, but it's like you already got the stuff out for like a sandwich.
yeah.
And then you find out, like, once you grab it, you're like, this is a little firm.
Yeah. But
I guess I will eat it. But I won't enjoy it.
I guess I'll fucking eat it. But we were like messing around with it, like the bread, and we were just like throwing it at each other. And so we were like recording like stupid videos of us being stupid. And one of the videos was it was back when like the POVs were starting to get like pretty popular. And so I just like come up to Evan and I'm like, "Oh, hey there. You're looking pretty nice tonight." "What's that? You're bisexual?" And I toss a piece of bread right at the camera, and we thought that was hilarious. And I posted that on the YouTube like yesterday, and I feel horrible about it because I look
It's
at
my content.
well, I mean, and it's a lot of my, like, you can see like the traffic that's being pulled in from YouTube. And so a lot of my traffic are people like actually searching like bisexual YouTubers. And so like that's showing up in their feed. And so they were watching it all the way through. And it's just me throwing bread at them. And like,
You can't even tell it's a bread, actually.
yeah, I know. It just looks like I'm throwing some shit at you. And so it just looks so funny. And I'm like, I hope that like nobody like took offense to it. It's like 4 people saw it that aren't me. So it's like it's like nobody. But like I thought it was so funny. I was like, "Oh my god." But yeah, I just did that with like a bunch of my TikToks. I post them on because a dude that comes in my stream consistently is Gustavo, who, my god, is a legend.
And 12 years old.
Dude, yeah, he's 12 years old. So, like, on Twitch, I just kind of assume that everybody that comes into my Twitch chat is around, like, the same age as I am. And so, like, anywhere between, like, 16 to 20 is, like, my target audience, I'd feel like. And Gustavo is, like, nowhere higher than, like, he's, like, 10 to 13 range for sure. And so I like went to his like YouTube channel because he said he had a YouTube channel. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. I went to it and it's literally him doing like Fortnite dances on his YouTube channel, and he's 12 years old.
Yeah,
and
he's getting hundreds of views.
Yeah,
he's so popular.
He's got like 60 whole subscribers more than me. Like, I was like, oh my god, what are you doing? And then I like scroll through like some of his YouTube shorts. Some of them have like 600, 700 views. It's crazy. So I'm like, I'm going to try that.
I mean, yeah, but you're also posting them on TikTok, and I bet he doesn't have a TikTok, and you're getting more followers on TikTok because you're just posting shorts.
Yeah, I do have a bunch of followers. Well, I have a decent amount of followers on TikTok. I don't want to be like, yeah, I got fucking followers out the ass on TikTok. No, I think about it a lot at work because, like, I want to like entertain people like streaming and stuff on Twitch and on YouTube and like be like that kind of content creator, like influencer type deal. But like shit's hard. Like really, really hard. And I really want to do it and I think I like genuinely can. It's just like I don't know what to do sometimes. Like it's so hard. And sometimes I just don't have like the motivation to like even go and stream just because I'm like I don't want to even play video games right now.
That's why Cody and I have 5,000 views on our one TikTok.
Yeah, dude, your one
Remember that
TikTok
one.
blew up. I think the most I ever got was like
I think 2,000.
1.8. Yeah,
I think it was like 221.
maybe I don't know. It was me and Garrett, which is weird too because we don't ever play video games together anymore. But yeah, I love that TikTok. I don't know. I've been like working on like 3 different YouTube videos and I get like halfway through editing them and then I just like have no more motivation to edit them anymore and like I'll just move on to a new project. And I'm always like that where like I'll start a project and I'll never finish it and I don't understand why. I'll do that with video games. I'll do that with like editing and streaming and everything. I'll get like so
I don't
close.
know. I do the same thing.
Dude, I don't
I don't
get it.
actually. I don't do it at the very end. I'll usually. It's the beginning.
The beginning.
That's the problem.
I love starting a project. I hate finishing it. Like I hate when it
I
comes.
hate
all
starting
together.
a project, but I like finishing something.
It sounds like
Once I begin,
yeah.
then it's go time. But once, I don't know. But once the idea's out there, I don't know. I don't want to do. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter. I just don't want to like start something.
Yeah. I've been trying to like do more creative stuff with my editing, because I think like that's kind of like how I want to roll with stuff. But there's like genuinely like times where I just don't know what to do, and I'll just like be like there should be an edit here, but I don't want to like make it like cringy, but I also like kind of want like my kind of humor in it, and like I don't know.
I don't know. I want to do something where I buy a camera and just do something at some point.
Oh my god, I would love to do live action stuff. I've been watching this guy named Joel Haver, which I showed you. Apparently, well, that's another conversation.
There's literal proof that I've never watched him before.
We'll give context on the story, Holden. But what he does is how he does his animation is he'll take a live action footage
And right over it.
and then it'll sync to like his movements and stuff. I think that's super cool. But I'd love to do like live action stuff like skits, just I don't know, stupid stuff where we like get a bunch of cereal and try to make different substitutes for like milk. You know, just like that kind of stuff because that stuff is so much fun. And we'd be really good at that just because like we like dicking around and that's all it is dicking around. I don't know. My mom has a really nice camera. Maybe I'll ask her if we can like borrow it.
Steal it.
But it's like her baby. Maybe she might have like a second one that she doesn't use anymore.
I know my mom does. She definitely 100% has an old camera she hasn't used, but the quality on it, don't know.
Oh, my mom,
Probably not good.
My mom's camera, like genuinely, is probably like it's good quality. It probably won't like go like top tier, but it would definitely be like a good start.
I don't even know. Like, what are the prices on cameras?
Dude, cameras are expensive.
I know they're expensive.
Cameras are fucked. Like they are really expensive. Like they're like for a cheap good camera, I don't even know. Like probably like $200 to be honest. They're like maybe I'm overestimating it, maybe.
Let's see.
But cameras are mad expensive, especially for like good ones.
Yeah. Plus, then you have to buy also shirt mics, which I already have one.
Yeah. Didn't you give me that one?
Well, no, I just let you try it out to see if it would work.
Yeah, okay. I was like, it's in my room. Yeah.
I just never came back. There's not really a point for you to grab it at the moment.
Yeah. I knew you were letting me borrow it, but I was like, yeah, shit. Wait, if you have one in your room, then I also have one in my room.
No.
I was like, dude, we have two. Why don't we do this?
There's another one that Cody has, and we both agreed to be like, you know what? We don't want to return them, but we also don't want to like. We just want to save them.
Yeah.
Maybe there like one day there'll be a use for them.
Yeah.
And like, if Cody ever wants to do like a live D&D thing to share across the world,
Yeah.
everyone would need a shirt mic.
Oh yeah. Which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Also probably expensive, but I don't know. I would love a live action D&D thing.
I know. I already got my secret name that we can't disclose.
Yeah.
I can't have anyone stealing it.
The last D&D group we had was so much fun. I talked to my mom about it a little bit. But like, okay, D&D is super nerdy, and if you don't want to get into it, it's totally fine and we understand. But like, it's so worth a try because of like the creative aspect that you can give on it, and like it's just like all in your mind, and it's so much fun. And so like we like to do a lot of planning before we do stuff, and so like they're like, uh-oh, somebody spotted you, like what do we do? And so everybody's like freaking out. We're like, what do we do? What do we do? And Evan, just out of nowhere, totally improvised. He's like, I don't care anymore. I'm done planning. He's like, I just walk in there. And we're like, no. And Evan like walks in like by himself, and everybody like Cody playing as the dungeon master, and so he has to play as like all the bad guys,
NPCs, the robots.
Yeah, and so he's like, they're like just talking about like,
they're doing their skate stuff.
Yeah, they're like these skater dwarves, and so Evan walks in there and challenges them to a skate off.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh shit's going down. And so we all like run in there to like watch the skate off. And of course, in this world, Evan has no fucking idea how to skateboard. He's like never even seen it before. And like these people have like been skating for like
their entire lives.
Yeah. And so like they're like Tony Hawk pro skater, and Evan's like this baby bitch boy.
No, I'm actually my guy's pretty cool.
He is pretty cool, but like experience wise on the skateboard.
Yours is the loser.
I am the loser. I'm the ball. Anyways, and so like, you know, obviously the higher you roll, the better you do something, and so on a 20-sided die, you know, rolling like 19 is like really fucking good. And so like Evan rolls like, oh, okay, like average the first time, and gets his like shit kicked in.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, best 2 out of 3. And so then we have 2 guys with like this ability called Lucky, which you can just re-roll.
Me and Drake.
You and Drake both have the ability to re-roll your D20. So if you don't like the number you get, you can just re-roll it. And so we would just re-roll the D20 until we would get a good number.
I actually got it first try. I didn't even use a luck point yet.
Oh yeah, no. The first one.
The first one I did, and it didn't work out too good.
Yeah, and then the second time
I didn't.
You didn't use the luck point, and you beat her because you had I
got
rolled
the 20.
Yeah, he rolled a nat 20, and then
absolutely dunked on her.
Yeah, he's like doing like backflips and shit, and then so it's best 2 to 3, and so Evan rolls like pretty dang good. Like we use it like 4 luck points to like make it work. Because like Evan
out of 6.
Yeah, out of 6, and you don't get those back. And so like they were like completely used. And so it he like rolls like pretty good, and we're like, all right, there's no way she beats that. And so she like gets like a little bit of a higher number. So then we're like, well shit, how do we win? And I was like, dude, what if I sabotage the race? and so like this isn't supposed to be happening like whatsoever. Like they're just supposed to like fight us, but like
I took an alternate route.
Yeah, we just like totally went off the script, and like we're just like being bros with these guys. And so like I was like, well, I'm just gonna use like this magic to like throw a rock at her. and so he's like, okay, you're gonna have to make 2 checks. One is a sleight of hand check, and another one's a stealth check. And so
Like first try, the first one
Yeah,
was stealth.
the first one was stealth, and I rolled just a natural 20, which is the best you can do. And I fucking like throw the rock, and I like dome piece her in the face, and he's like, now see if you do it stealthily. And I and then we ended up, I think, using the last luck point on that to make
Yeah.
sure I got like a 16 on it. And so like it was so stupid.
Just enough to I did slightly better.
Yeah, just enough so that Evan
Yeah.
would beat her barely. And then Cody like halfway through, Cody's like, dude, like this doesn't mean anything. Like nothing is coming up of this. And we're like, this is fun.
No, it was Ross.
That's what it was. It was Ross.
It wasn't Cody because Cody was he's not gonna like really point it out because he's the one who's making the story as we're
Yeah,
going.
that's who it was. It was Ross. Ross was like, dude, why are we even doing this? Let's just
Yeah,
fight
he
them.
he pretty much just sat in the back quiet the entire time.
This-
All I'm saying is that nobody trusts me, but I should be the leader.
Dude, that was so much
I
fun.
should be the leader. I'm usually the one who leads talking.
How is
I'm always the one who reroutes the whole game.
How is Raina the leader? Like, oh my god. I was like,
She's hearing this right now.
Yeah.
I'm the leader.
yeah. If Raina is in the chat right now, Evan is now. I actually think I voted for you. I think.
No, nobody did.
Really?
No one did.
Oh, maybe I was making a case for myself. Did I make a case for myself?
No, everyone pointed at Reina.
I did not vote for Raina. I swear I had to have been like, well, I'm the smart one, and then I was like, I want to shoot the birds. I have a hard time role playing in that as that character because like Cody kind of like has like these preset characters that we had to like be, and like it makes sense for like a story aspect. Like I understand why, but like my character.
Well, he's using a preset story.
Yeah, so it's like, he has to like follow along with the story a little bit, and so like my character is like the smart, like nerdy, but also like a big ass know-it-all, and
Mine's rich and cool.
yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
But like I have a hard time like role playing as him because I don't want to be smart when I play. Like it's a fictional world, and I realize that it's a fictional world, and so I just want to do stupid shit, like run up and kiss your dad on the lips.
Mine's supposed to play like a little bit of like a Tony Stark kind of thing,
Yeah, which I think is funny.
which is perfect. I'm like, that just works for me. Like, infinite money.
Yeah, the infinite money thing is funny.
Yeah. If you look at my collection amount, there's just an infinity symbol on the side.
I love our second campaign too. When
Yeah.
when everybody's not there, like if somebody were to be missing, we don't run like the main campaign. We'll make a second one, and so my guy in the second one, he is a
400 million year old piece of paper.
Yeah, he's 450 million years old. He's like 7'1", and he's just this giant piece of paper that throws cards, and like each card does like the number that I pulled does like a certain amount of like damage or thing. Like it's sweet. It's so funny.
But I'll always be upset that they chose Reina. There's a smart reason they chose Reina though.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
Reina always goes with the safest options.
Yeah, no,
But
Raina will actually make like safe
I
decisions.
always make different options, but they're always smart different options.
Yeah.
I will always make a different route.
Yeah.
I like going because it adds a different level to the game.
That's why I love D&D so much, is because like there is like maybe a clear cut way, but like a million different ways to get to that point.
Because Cody's like, the only thing that happened was like, he's like, that wasn't planned.
Yeah.
But the only thing that was gained is now you're proficient in skating if you ever need it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm probably never gonna need it.
But like it's cool that you have it.
But now I have it.
Like I was like, damn, I wanted to challenge her to. I want to be proficient in skating. This is sick. I just like doing stupid shit because like I have a high athletics, and so I'll just be like, I do a backflip, and then like Like everybody's like, cool. I
But I'm a
guess.
skateboarder now.
Dude.
I did it 3 times and now I'm professional at it.
Now you're the next Tony Hawk.
Yeah. But I'll always be sad. Raina goes for the safe options. I go for the fun options. Nothing dangerous, but fun.
I want to start.
And Ross goes for
the
whatever.
stupid routes.
He goes for the dumb routes. He's like, I'm gonna do this. I don't care if it works or not. And then he suicide bombs the whole thing.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But I want to start flirting with Ethan's character.
Why?
I just want to so bad.
No.
Why?
In the story also, first of all, my character hates his character.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
My guy has a slight grudge against him.
He's like so awkward.
Yeah.
And like weird, and so like Ethan is like awkward, and so like I just want to be like, give him like a wink or something, and then he'd be like, dude, like what are you fucking doing? Like out of character. I'm like, dude, I'm just playing the game, man. Because like, I made my guy like specifically bisexual because it's just a game. Like I'm not bisexual in real life, but it's just a game, and so you can do whatever the fuck you want. And so like, I don't have to like judge a person based off of looks or like what if you have a penis or a vagina. I just can be like, I want to date that guy. Like, or, you know what, I want to date that girl. I want to date that squid monster. It's like, okay. I think that's so funny. And, like, Ethan's already, like, weird. Like kind of, like, awkward, like, socially. And so I just want to, like, give him, like, one, like, little flirt and see how he takes it.
He's just going to ignore you.
Dude, it's going to be...
and nothing's going to happen.
I just want to be like, I kiss Ethan on the mouth really quickly without him knowing.
It's kind of funny how everyone plays differently.
Oh, yeah.
So, I play the wacky routes. Like, I'm just a wild card.
Yeah.
I'm totally going to mix everything up.
I love it, too. It's just so much fun.
Raina is always the safe route.
Yeah.
Ross.
Calculated safe route, yeah.
Ross likes to make the stupid plays, but if he has to pick a side, he's gonna go with the safe route.
Yeah.
Drake likes to play. He kind of likes to be a wild card too.
Yeah.
He usually goes the safe route, but he'll go for minor wild cards.
Oh.
Just because we'll be in the middle of saying something, and then he'll just blurt something out.
Yeah, he can be
and
chaotic.
Now it totally changes it.
Yeah, he can be like kind of chaotic, which is great. I love like just being like,
and then
going with like stupid shit.
Ethan and McKenna.
Yeah.
They just kind of like follow in a way.
They hang out. Yeah. What am I?
I forgot you play.
Yeah, do me.
The thing is, you've only played like
a couple of times.
Yeah. You like to.
I wanna.
I gotta think, because now I actually have to remember your interactions, which I legitimately can't remember your interactions.
I had one interaction.
So I think you might do like a little bit of following as well.
Probably.
In a way.
It's probably because I'm not very experienced at the moment, but like. I don't know. I like to do stupid shit. Like I want to do stupid shit, and so like that second session of D&D, I was getting like better at it. Just being like we're in the cab, and I try to pull out my gun and shoot a bird, and they almost kicked us out. Yeah. Or that I flipped to see if I kissed your dad on the lips, without him noticing. Which which is even more difficult to do. But I didn't even get the kiss off, man. I would have been okay if I got the kiss off and then he'd been like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't even get the kiss off.
Because, like, yeah, I'd probably sum you, McKenna, and Ethan up to pretty much just following with whatever goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess that's how it be sometimes. Yeah. When everybody's yelling and shit, I just kind of, like, sit back and I'm like,
everyone's usually going up against what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's usually Raina providing the smart option.
Yeah.
And me providing a option that you don't know what will happen.
Yeah, like
That's the thing. It's like
dude,
no one can ever say it's a bad option, but nobody knows what will happen.
Yeah,
so
it's
it's
not
like
necessarily a good option because you can't say
Yeah.
it's a bad one or not.
you can't say it's good and you can't say it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just something.
Yeah, like
I'm like, this will be great. Trust me.
dude.
And I loved that they were now forced to go with an option that I
Yeah,
chose.
you just
Because
like
I'm like, yes.
you just like went full face
Yeah.
first into it.
That's what I wanted to do because that's what my character is supposed to do, is kind of do like a challenge.
Yeah,
And that's exactly what he did.
that's super funny. The combat portion of the game, to me, I understand so easily though. Like the role playing part is weird for me, and it's like
That's
fun.
my favorite part, is the story, because now I'm able to go do whatever
Oh,
I want.
I love the story so much more than I like the combat, but like I understand the combat more.
I'm not a fan of. I prefer the story because I like talking and I like interactions.
Yeah, I do too.
'Cause
But when it
if-
comes to like me combat though, it's just like
yeah,
she's like, all right, I shoot you, I run and hide.
yeah. Not only that, usually my goals end up not going to conflict.
Yeah.
I like to avoid the conflict because I want to make a wacky outcome that leads us to do something else more fun.
Yeah.
That
Like
isn't-
skateboarding.
That isn't funny. Like skateboarding, which it didn't work. Eventually, we did fight him regardless. Like, yeah, you won. All right, now we're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's
Dude.
stupid. Well, fuck.
Dude, it was even more stupid because like we were fighting him and then like Cody didn't tell us like the age. He just said that they were dwarves, and so they're just small people with beards. So everybody has this picture in their
Yeah.
head that they're like 30 to 80 years old, you know. They got these big gray beards.
Well, I mean, they are dwarves.
They're dwarves, right? No, they're like 10 years old, and like they're just these stupid
Are you
kids.
sure you want to kill these kids?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. And then everyone's telling me, and I'm like, fine. I won't.
Dude, because
Because-
Evan can like turn into like bears and shit, and so he's like this big bear, and he like is about to maul this child, and Cody goes, "Are you sure you want to kill a 10-year-old?" And everybody's like, "Evan, don't fucking do it!" And like the look on your face, you're like, "I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do
Like
it.
I want to do it," and then you didn't do it. And the rest of
Yeah.
the
The only people that would have supported me if I did it would have been you and Drake. You and Drake would have been like, yeah.
fucking maul that kid.
Because you totally wanted, I bet both of you wanted to see what would have
I
happened.
kind of wanted to see what happened.
Yeah.
I can't believe that like there's like this every like section has like a boss, and there's like the boss was coming at us, and I have like a little pee pistol. I go pew pew, you know, and it does like 4 damage. Everybody's like, who cares? And every once in a while though, I can like do something stupid, and so like my character has like this thing where like I can like yell out a shot that I'm about to hit, and it does like more damage, but I lose like accuracy, and so I'll just be like, sniper. And just out of nowhere, like a bullet will like whiz by and either like dome piece them or like completely miss, and I think it's the funniest shit. And so I just so happen to yell out sniper and jump out behind a crate and like
Murdered.
yeah, I rolled a 20, and so like I did like once you roll 20 you get to roll, you know, the 2 more dice. Like
double
extra.
it.
You
Double damage.
you doubled the damage. And so I had to roll 3 6-sided dice, and then since I doubled that, you know, 3 more. So I ended up doing like more than half of her health, more than 3/4 of her health just like died immediately. And everybody's like, holy shit. They're like,
Yeah.
it was the coolest thing to me because everybody's like, dude, you have a little pee pistol and you just like absolutely murdered this lady.
I totally should have still killed them.
The whole time I was like, dude,
Yeah.
no, she's hot. And then Cody was like, no, man, she's 10. And I was like, fuck, I'm 15. No. Why did I have to be so old?
And then, well, my dilemma
Yeah.
was this. I'm like, the in-game character father of mine said, he's like, yeah, you either fight for blood or you fight for your gold.
Yeah.
And gold is like whatever you fight for, something that's not blood.
Yeah.
And he also said kill or be killed,
Yeah.
which is two different things.
Oh, yeah, no, totally different.
We
things.
were in self-defense mode because I went for a skate battle.
I went for a skate battle.
So I'm fighting in defense, which is kill or be killed.
Yeah.
My gold was the skate game. So
Yeah.
this is a different thing going on. I'm like, I think I'm in full right to kill.
If you would have killed them, I think I would have
Yeah.
laughed so hard. But been like, oh my
I
god.
wanted to kill everybody that wasn't the one I challenged to the skate game, to the skate battle. Be like, look what you did. Look what you've done.
Especially because you're a bear, and so you're just like mawing them while like my like 3'5" ass is like looking at you like, dude, what are you doing? Oh my god.
And I probably would have killed her too if it wasn't for the fact that she rolled high on because there was a giant acid pool.
Yeah.
And if you think about it realistically, the acid will destroy you.
Yes.
And I almost pushed her in, but she rolled to like go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god! But if she rolled
I
and
almost
went
did
into the
too.
acid, she would have died.
Yeah. I shot
And that
her.
would have been a good victory for me.
I shot her and she almost fell in too, but she rolled high to get out of it. And
Yeah, I was
"Fuck her."
so upset. I'm like, you gotta be joking me.
Yeah, push that fucking dwarf
Yeah.
ass in the acid pool.
What I should have done was like, all right, like shoot a pillar or something, or like maul a pillar, so the whole building would collapse,
Oh my god.
and then they would have all died.
Dude, this is the second campaign in a row that Ethan's almost started a fire. Well, Ethan
Yeah.
did start a fire in the first one, and then almost started one in the second one. I'm like, dude, you gotta stop using.
It's really funny.
You gotta stop using firebolt. That fucking kills us.
It's worth it though.
No, it almost lights a fire every single time, and then you have to worry about like not burning to death in a fiery blaze, while also killing skater dwarves. It's too much shit for me to handle. But
Oh well.
I'm so excited about it. I love like that last D&D session was so good, and like it's just a nerdy little board game, but like has like this like long lasting effect, and it's just nice to
Yeah.
just get out and play.
Because I love story games,
Oh my god, me too.
and this is pretty much a story game.
Yeah.
And I have now the ability, instead of like, if you're gonna play like the game Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
You're forced to play the story game. The story's good,
Yeah.
but you
it's
can't like
linear.
run off and shoot your own friend
Yeah.
or something like that. Just something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
I can do that in the game.
Yeah, it's linear.
Yeah.
And so you have to follow like what the story is set out for you. But
Now,
that's
yeah.
why like, D&D is so good.
Because it's open world linear, there's still going to be the main story that we're going to do.
Yeah.
But we can literally do anything else anytime.
Yeah. Which is super cool. Like and you can just have like these weird like
Yeah.
side characters or like just like your own like little things. Like when I was the paper boy, my guy likes to gamble, and so like I would just like everybody went to bed and they were like, Kobe, do you want to go to bed? And I was like, fuck no, I want to like I want to go down there and play some card games and like rig it so I get money. And so I just like spent like hours down there doing that, and Cody like actually rewarded me, and like depending on like if I cheated or not, which I didn't, then like he gave me like even more side missions. And so it was just like completely non-planned stuff. Like Cody does a great job of being a DM. Like I know it probably isn't like the most fun.
He's also he probably enjoys it
I bet he
more than playing a character. Probably.
I
He's
hope
only got to play a character a couple times, and it's been in like story games where like it is the first time ever making it a campaign. So it's,
I hope
it's
he
like one that
genuinely
did not get
enjoys
to. It's not one where he gets to like gets to truly enjoy the story because it's not like a great story because it's the first time ever being like made.
Yeah.
This is like Cody's 4th or 5th.
I hope he
And-
enjoys it. He's so
Yeah.
good at doing
He
it.
usually gets it destroyed by players because people will be like, I want to burn down the whole city. And everyone will go, yeah! And then the story's gone because the person who's going to make it is dead. So he can't, like, do it.
Yeah.
And he's not going to, like, not permit it because he can't. He's like, God doesn't ascend from the heavens to
Be like, hey, don't
lightning
burn.
bolt you.
Yeah.
And then he'll give them he'll give them like punishment things that'll end up killing them all, and then that's the end of the game.
Did we talk about how Garrett wanted to play D&D on the podcast already?
No, but I would rather. I don't want to go into it.
It's,
I'm just gonna summarize it. Garrett doesn't understand. He's like an old man.
dude. We like tried to explain it like over like an hour of like trying to explain like
That you can do whatever you want.
yeah, and so he's like,
But it
if
has
I'm-
to be within the limitations of what you can really do, like in real life.
He's like, I want to be a nuclear scientist and just build a bomb and blow up the world. And he's like, you can't do that. Like, and the
Where in the 1400s did they
Yeah.
have a nuclear bomb?
like that is the reason why you can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you couldn't do it because the DM wouldn't let you. The DM would let you try, but like you couldn't.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to. Like, I don't know. It's just funny because like I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, you can do it. You can do whatever you want, man. But you were like, no, you couldn't because there's no possible way you can get like nuclear material. But like, I don't know. It's just funny to me because
Yeah.
he's like,
Well, it wasn't even that either, because he'd be like, well, why can't I just go do it? It's like, all right, think about this. You live in the medieval area, right?
yeah,
Why would you have a gun? And you wouldn't understand that. It's like, you just can't have a gun. They didn't invent guns back then. They didn't have, like, muskets for, like, a long-ass time.
I have a gun. That's my favorite thing. I've been doing that all the time now.
Because of me.
Dude, I actually did it at work. And like,
It's like, your manager told you to go and break it, like, I got a gun.
well, like, I have a gun. No, there was like, you can like put shit on top of your station if you don't know like where it like came from. And so there was like this revolver that it's not real, it's fake, it's just a kid's revolver with like the little orange cap on it. And so this chick that works beside me, I know her, and I was like, hey, you want to see something cool? And she turns around and she goes, yeah, what's up? I go, I have a gun. and she's like, what the fuck? And I point at her, I was like, I have a gun. and she's like, just like laughing and like having a good time with it. But then I was like, dude, they're gonna look at that in the camera and be like, I'm threatening this lady.
Well, it's funny to me just because, I don't know. Well, you know, I have my Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
I'll explain it.
Yeah, explain.
And I first brought it like last year.
Yeah.
And I just walk into your room, dead serious. I'm like, hey, dude, I have this gun at home. And I'm just like, I think it'd be nice if we had like some kind of like, just if we ever needed like self-defense. So I brought my gun and I have this metal case
It's
that
this,
I hold my Game Boy
It's
in.
this big metal
It's
case.
got like latches on it and
Yeah,
everything.
it's got a nice handle and like it's like that like rigid edged and stuff. So like
Yeah.
looks like an actual gun case.
It could totally play off as a gun case.
Oh my god.
And
yeah.
I'm just like, so I brought my gun from home, and I just wanted to like, just bring it in case we like ever need it, just like in
Yeah.
case. It'd be like, just in case.
Yeah.
And you were already uncomfortable.
Because when you're like, hey dude, I got a gun, like I'm gonna freak out. and like earlier that week, Garrett had offered to like take me to a shooting range, and I was like, fuck
I
no.
didn't know about that.
Dude, he was like, it's like, hey, have you ever been like shooting a gun before? And I was like, no, not really. And he's like, well, I think I'm gonna go buy like a shotgun or something, and like I want to like take it to the shooting range. And Like, you want to go? And I was like, I've only like ever shot a BB gun. He's like, oh yeah, no, it's like the same thing. And I was like, okay, I guess. And I told him like, yeah, I'd go. I probably would go. It sounds like fun, but like definitely would be uncomfortable.
We have to go axe throwing.
Dude.
I think I'm gonna save enough money, and then we can like look up to see if there's anything in like Toledo or something.
There is. There's got to be something that's near us because
Yeah.
Feltner used to go. He used to work at an axe throwing business somewhere, and then I knew somebody from classes that also worked at an axe throwing business. So it might be something in Toledo.
But anyways, coming back to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. I just want to show you too, just because it's like really cool. It's like and I tell him like a fake model.
Yeah.
And I tell him, like, it's a revolver.
That's what it was. You were like, dude, it's an actual revolver though. And I was like, no way.
I'm like, yeah, I brought my 375 Magnum.
But like in my head, I'm like,
extended barrel, and I'm just starting to list random shit off.
It's got a suppressor and shit. Yeah. In my head, I'm like, dude, just play this off and like act like you're cool about it, but like you're totally not cool with this right now. Just act surprised and be like, no way, you brought a gun, but in reality, be like, oh my god, he has a gun. Like,
I just opened the case. It's a Game Boy.
It's just a Game Boy and a bunch of cartridges.
Mario games.
It's like, dude, fuck off.
Oh, and then I did the same thing to Garrett. That's so well.
Not even an hour later, you did the same thing to Garrett.
Not like an hour later. This was literally last week. I did this to you when we first moved in.
Oh. Oh my god, yeah, you did. You must have did it again to me or something. I remember.
No,
it.
I don't think I have.
I remember it vividly. But
well, that's when we started making the "I have the gun" joke, because we started. I just started saying it because I was bringing up the Game Boy case so much, and now we just started doing it. And I'm like, now when we just get into a scenario where it's like, what if we just like what if we can't get in? I'm just like, well, I do have a gun. It's like, because we're talking about like going to Olive Garden, and we're like,
Oh yeah.
It's like, well, oh man, it's a 50-hour away. It's like I could shorten it down. You're like, how? How would you possibly shorten it down? I'm like, I got a gun. I'm pretty sure they would shorten it down.
I have a gun, dude. Did I tell you?
But
at the sorry to off track you.
You did.
We went to that. This is like really off topic. You do your thing first.
Okay. Well, but we just played this. I was just playing on Garrett, and luckily you fell through with it too, because you were there too.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, dude, fuck off when I bring out the case. And I'm like, please just play it off as cool. Please don't like. I'm like, then I start like trying to glance at you as much as I possibly can.
You like winked with like without winking at me, and I was like, oh, he wants me to play along. I was like, fine.
So then I label it off. I'm like, I name a brand, I name a Magnum. I did the whole like spiel.
Yeah, and
Garrett's already uneasy.
Yeah, Garrett immediately is like, well, why'd you say fuck off? And I was like, cause I don't like that he's flaunting his gun around, you know. And I like try and play it off as like good as I can. And so eventually Garrett like is fully convinced, and he's like, whoa, dude, like you got a gun? Like I want a gun.
Well, no, he didn't say that. He was like uneasy about it because, I don't know, he has a thing about gun safety as well. But
dude, he's like hard Republican.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm like, no, there's a gun lock on it. Trust me, it's fine.
It's fine.
There's a key in here, so you can't like, you have to like unlock it to make sure. And he's uneasy about it just because he likes guns, but
he doesn't like knowing that other people have guns.
Well, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know what I would do. Yeah, he doesn't know if I'm gonna start like spinning it around on my finger or something.
Like, look at my gun.
So that's what made him uneasy. Is just like, what will he do with this?
Yeah.
I just opened it up as a Game Boy.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
So stupid. But every time I think of the I have a gun, I think of fucking. It's literally Pokemon. It's Inteleon. He has his fingers are guns, and they just shoot out water, and so it specifically says at Mach 4 speed, which is the funny part about it. So he shoots out water like super fast, and so I have like this deck where he does 20, no big deal, and whenever I do that, we always say that we're flicking their bean. And
you say that actually. It's
I
just
do.
you.
Me and Garrett both say that. He's
Well,
like, "Who?"
you started it for like nonstop, and he's like, "Well, I guess I'll start doing it."
Yeah, and and so he's like, "Oh, whose bean you want to flick?" And I'm like, "That one. I want to flick that bean." And so stupid. But we went.
I hate it, by the way.
We went to that GLC tournament a while ago. I love it. It's so funny. We went to that GLC tournament, by the way, and I was gonna quick shoot somebody, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just flick that guy's. I'll quick shoot for 20. And he's like, what were you gonna say? And and I was like, it's an inside joke. And Brittany just like looks at me with like the most like oh my god, you almost said you were gonna flick his bean stare. It's like, I can't believe that you almost said it. It's so funny. It was the standard tournament, and I was first in that old man.
The only reason is because that Pokemon card, if you read his like definition, is that he has water that he can like store in his fingers, and he shoots it at Mach 3. It literally says Mach 3.
Yeah, and so it's like crazy. It like
Pikachu's not surviving.
Yeah, it just like obliterates, like burns a hole through them. It's so
no, it would
funny.
just hurt him to like guts because it would be such a huge impact in one small piece.
Yeah,
that would just blow. It'd shatter the rest of the body.
It'd be so funny. That's why I love it. But was standard tournament this week or last week? Did we talk about the standard tournament?
Supposed to be like it was last week.
Did we talk about standard tournament last time on podcast?
Probably.
No.
I don't know. Probably not.
Then I won't bring it up again. But
I don't know. We need to stop talking about Pokemon. It's fucking nerdy.
It is nerdy. Dude, we talked about D&D for the entire portion of this video.
I didn't want it to go that way.
Well, I like D&D.
I was going to talk about some other nerdy shit because I wanted to talk about Star Wars tier list. That's the only thing I had on my mind. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Segue now.
Yeah.
We're moving to a segue.
Segue. Okay, this motherfucker comes up to me today and says that Clone Wars is the best prequel. And I'm looking him in the eyes, and I'm thinking to myself,
you said 2 is the worst. You said 1 is better, so I can no longer trust your judgment.
Out of the prequels, it goes 3, 1, 2. Phantom Menace.
It does not.
Dude,
That's not true at all.
Qui-Gon Jinn is like...
It goes 2, 3, 1.
Dude, you're on cocaine. You're on crack. You've been snorting the crack. You've been injecting the crack directly into your bone marrow.
There is literally not a single interesting battle or scene in the
Phantom
first
Menace?
one until you get to Darth Maul.
Dude, Darth Maul's awesome. Yeah,
And Darth Maul's cool. He's literally my favorite Star Wars character, but
dude,
he fucking... The rest of the movie sucks ass.
Dude, the rest of the movie is like story building. It's like...
There's barely any story building. If they literally cut that movie off, everyone would not care. Dude, because it is such a different thing from the Skywalker storyline. It's more of Qui-Gon Jinn's storyline, and nobody gives a fuck about Qui-Gon Jinn.
I love Qui-Gon Jinn. He's so cool. And then he dies.
The first movie
Spoiler
gives
alert.
barely...
Spoiler alert.
To a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah.
20-year-old movie.
But Qui-Gon Jinn dies in the first movie. But fuck, man, dude, it's such a good movie. Okay.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Out of the prequels,
but it's the worst one.
And you saying that the third, what is it? Return of the Sith, Return of the Jedi. What is it called? Attack of the Sith.
Well, first
Sith.
one's Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Second one's Attack of the Clones. Third is Revenge of the Sith.
That's it, or maybe I don't know. I think so. I'll take your word for it. But that one's the best one I think that one's the best Star Wars movie, like, period. Like, I love that Star Wars movie.
I think the prequels are better than the sequels, all collectively.
The sequels, or do you mean like the main?
The
trilogy?
originals.
Because I was like,
because they're technically. Oh yeah, no, it's right. Because you go prequels, originals, and then sequels.
Yeah. The sequels suck dick. I hate the sequels.
I kind of liked the first one. I
Okay.
actually, I didn't say I can't say kind. I did like the first one.
Me and Garrett have had this conversation quite a lot. Okay. But what's it called? The Force Awakens, I think is the
Yes.
Force Awakens. I actually enjoy the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I think that like how they were setting up characters in the Force Awakens is actually really cool. Like Finn as a character
Yeah.
is so cool.
They gave him potential that he knew the Force,
Yeah, they gave
and then
every scene he like touches the lightsaber, you're like, oh hell yeah, like even though
Yeah.
he isn't.
he literally he grabbed the lightsaber. He's not supposedly Force sensitive, and he started throwing hands with Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
That was so cool. It was great story build up.
of course.
It was great.
And so every addition to the story that they had 2 more movies to build his character.
And they dropped it even worse every single time.
Every time they ruined him, especially in the second prequel or the sequels. God, they ruined
It was actually
him.
at least they gave like an hour of his time in the second movie, in the second prequel.
Yeah, the second prequel,
And then-
they at least like give him like.
Yeah, they give him something to do, but everyone hates it because the character they now gave him as a sidekick. He was now a sidekick to Rey, but they cut him off and now he has a sidekick. And everyone voted. Everyone legitimately thinks that was the worst character known to man in any Star Wars scenario ever. I agree. Rose sucked.
Dude, oh my
Rose
god.
was just every bit annoying.
I tried to like talk to Garrett about this because he's really big into the Star Wars, and I was like, man, Force Awakens is like, it's like bad, but it's not like that bad. Like
No.
it's.
I wouldn't
fine.
even say it's bad.
It's fine. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
It
because it gives two people that are both not well, known into the Jedi world or Sith world.
yeah.
They don't really know what they're doing with a lightsaber.
It's
So it totally makes sense for them to not be great fighters, but they still provided great scenes.
yeah. It's like the reason I say it's bad is because it's like bad for a Star Wars movie because like every single Star Wars movie is like really well story built, really well made, and so
I still
like
think it was well made.
I think that one is well made. I think
I definitely think it's on the bottom of the.
that's what I'm saying is it's on the bottom of the Star
Yeah.
Wars tier list, but like
Because I don't think I can I think there's a difference between how you rate them. So, if you're gonna put them all on a 1 to 10 scale, and you're gonna say I don't know, Attack of the Phantom Menace is a 5
yeah
because you don't think it was that great of a movie.
yeah
You can't put The Force Awakens lower than that if you think it was a decent movie. So you'd say 5. But if you're gonna compare them, you would say that
like you like
Phantom
Force
Menace
Awakens.
is better than Force Awakens. It's
Yeah.
got a different rating.
Yeah.
So there's an order compared to the rating.
Yeah.
And I think it goes prequels, all the prequels, then all the originals. I'd actually probably put I'd probably do Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and then the originals, and then Phantom Menace, and then the sequels.
I'd have to think about it for a second.
That's
But-
how I'd just do it. Just as a really summarized group, just really quick summarized.
I think if I'm going like my top 3 for sure are my number 1 has gotta be Revenge of the Sith. I just think that
Yeah. Too many people hate the prequels for no reason.
I think the prequels do it
They provide
better
the best
sometimes.
fight scenes, the best. The fighting scenes are literally supreme
yeah.
compared to what they had back in 1987.
And, like,
And
Count
people are like, "Oh, well,
Dooku.
this is what they had to work with back then." I'm like, "Yeah, it's an old movie."
Of course. And like you gotta like respect the originals for what they do because like that like
That they are old. They are an old movie.
Yeah, and that
but at the
sort of,
same
like-
time, it's like watching why would you play an old game when there's the remastered version of it?
Yeah.
You're not going to go back and play the old pixel version, even though you have the new one.
Yeah.
I'd rather play
totally
the new
get
one
it.
because it's more refined.
If my buddy Landon was here, he would absolutely be eating this shit up because he loves the prequels. The prequels are his favorite for like by a lot, and he'll like just rewatch them all. But I think the Revenge of the Sith is probably my favorite Star Wars movie, and then you gotta put A New Hope up there because that one like really like shines. It was like the start of something beautiful, and then like was slowly ruined with the sequels.
Yeah.
But like it was beautiful. And then the Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, and I don't remember the last one. I don't remember what the last one was called.
I don't remember what the last one's called.
I think it was.
Oh my god, dude.
It's something really close to the original sound, like original titles.
Yeah. I can't think of it right now. Oh
I'm
my
looking
god,
it up.
I'm a
I'm
fake
looking it
fan.
up. Well, it doesn't really matter because you're not a fake fan if you can't remember the last movie because it didn't make any sense.
But like, I don't know. I'd probably go 3, 4, 6, 5, 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Actually, 7, 9, 8. 8's the worst Star Wars movie of all time.
What is it? It keeps saying The Last Jedi. No, it's not The Last Jedi.
Well, then what's 5?
Oh no, I'm talking about the sequels.
Oh, the sequels? No. It's
There's Star Wars: A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, and then Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
maybe it was Last Jedi.
Rise of Skywalker is the very last one. Last Jedi is the one that's 3 hours long.
I hate the Last Jedi.
I liked every part
The last
that wasn't
that wasn't Rose.
that wasn't the Finn part.
Dude,
or
because
that admiral that really sucked that decided to crash the ship into the
oh my god,
giant thing.
Man,
Anything with Rey in that movie, Rey and Luke Skywalker was
great.
pretty good.
It's fine.
It's pretty good.
It's fine.
But it made up like a third of the movie.
I just didn't like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like they like would bring in like the old characters and the old cast, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, hell yeah, dude, that's Han Solo, and then they'd like kill off Han Solo, and be like, the fuck did you do that for?
I really hated it, but that's what made that movie good. Because
Good.
they respectively killed him off.
Yeah, it's hard to like kill
Yeah.
off a character anyways.
Because they pretty much made Force Awakens kind of like A New Hope, and they kill off Ben. They kill off Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the same thing. And they even give like a slight more like purpose to the Obi-Wan scenario of Han Solo, because not only is Han Solo the father
Yeah.
of
You know.
of Kylo Ren,
You know.
but he also now has his best friend Chewbacca there, and he also has a purpose for that, and he also is shown a purpose later in the movies,
Yeah.
in the later parts of the movies, because he comes back up and harasses Kylo Ren constantly,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it played it off a little bit better, so that's why I like that movie so much.
I do too, especially that end fight scene
yeah.
where they're in the snow and like it's dark and like they're like the lightsaber, like the lights and the choreography of it is just really good.
Yeah. And the planets and just like the places they decided to put everything was really good.
Dude, there was one fight scene in The Last Jedi that I absolutely fucking adore. I loved it. When I was watching it in the theater, I remember watching it and it was so good.
Was it where they're fighting the red?
It was where they're fighting
the red guys.
The red guys.
Yeah.
And I remember being so into that scene and so drawn in by what was happening. And I wasn't like focused on like what was happening in like the background and shit. I was just focused on like what was happening on screen. And like I was super into it. And then like I saw somebody like reacted about how bad that choreography is in that scene. And I was like, there's no way. I remember that scene being great. And they're like breaking it down. I'm like, holy shit, there's so much dumb stuff that's happening in this scene.
There's also some deleted scenes of The Last Jedi that I've seen that were literally better than the story.
Like,
So, I'm trying to think of it now.
there's just
But like, do you remember the scene where that captain in the silver, and were like with Finn and stuff?
is this when was this?
In
Rise of
The Last
Skywalker or
Jedi.
Okay.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And they're about to have like the ship get like that the admiral was about to like hyperdrive through that ship.
Yeah.
I don't remember what was happening with Finn, but he was like about to get like executed with Rose
Yeah.
from that lady.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened, but they're just about to die. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And in the original movie, just in the original with the actual movie, they just have it to where, like, he kind of like pussies out. That's it.
Yeah.
He just like, that's it. The whole thing catches on fire. Someone comes and saves them. They leave or something like that.
Yeah.
And she just happens to the person in the silver just happens to fall into a pit. It dies.
So what's the deleted scene?
The deleted scene is that the whole place like shakes and crashes, and everyone gets knocked off their balance. Finn gets up, grabs a weapon, and starts fighting her, and then they go into like a whole fight scene, and then he's about to lose, right before, and then she's like, I'm gonna say quote, and then he says his quote, and then like ninja flips her off the edge, and she dies. I'm like, that's an awesome scene. It's so cool.
I just feel like they did my boy Finn dirty. I loved that character.
In the first movie, they give him they give him so much purpose.
Dude, they almost give him too much purpose in the first one. I feel more drawn to Finn as a character than I do Rey.
Actually, everybody did in the first movie.
And like, if
the actor actually hated what happened to his character as well.
I do too.
Where he actually almost wouldn't have done it, but he had a contract already.
Yeah.
And then
the first movie, they like made him awesome.
Yeah.
And they just totally took it the worst direction they possibly could have.
And then the second one, they just gave him his own thing, and it really sucked.
Yeah.
It was just really bad because they gave him a side character that nobody liked.
Yeah.
And
they gave him the Jar
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 didn't have
Binks.
really much of a purpose because his purpose was literally useless. The 45 minutes that they gave him of his own time on the movie did nothing. All it did was eventually wind him up onto the ship, and that was like it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Even in like Rise of Skywalker, they like leave it off on like he's like force sensitive.
It was actually even worse.
Yeah, because
at least they gave him his own thing. It didn't work out.
No.
But when it got to the Rise of Skywalker, all he did was scream Rey. That was it.
Yeah.
All he did was scream Rey and be like, Rey, don't do that.
Rey,
and that's all he does.
And it's like, man, there's such potential. Absolutely destroyed.
And then they leave one more little force sensitive thing where he's like, I have the Force. Yeah. And then he goes and like shoots something magically and it works.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
what?
Dude. And then he goes back to screaming for Rey.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I was like, just give him a lightsaber. Just give him a lightsaber and let him like fight some shit or something. Like that'd be cool.
They killed so much potential. And not only that, with the first movie, it's like you see Snoke.
Yes.
Snoke's like so awesome. Like, oh my god, it's like some old man that's been hiding out for a long time.
Yeah.
And now he's able to turn Kylo Ren dark. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then
he dies.
in The Last Jedi, he just gets immediately murdered.
Yeah.
And you're like, that sucks.
Yeah, how Snoke died is stupid. And then in Rise of Skywalker, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Palpatine's alive. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just like, we found out Palpatine is real. And then you see it, and then it reveals that Palpatine was a mutated thing of Snoke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that was like the worst thing ever.
Just make a new cool villain that's not fucking Palpatine.
It was so bad.
It's so stupid.
I personally did like, the only thing good from that Last Jedi movie was legitimately the scenery.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Where they're on like that water planet.
And then the Exegol, the very last planet they were on,
yeah.
The fight scene on that was really good.
I don't even hate Rise of Skywalker. I just don't like it.
I didn't hate it either when I watched it, but I really, like, when you break into the story of it, I really hate the story.
Oh, absolutely.
But as, like, its own movie,
it's fine.
It did work out.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Force Awakens, like, got me, like, hopes high and then completely devastated by the second movie. Absolutely just devastated.
Because every single time they've ever, like, got to a climax of, like, some kind of, like, thing that's about to go down, it just immediately tanks.
Yeah.
Because it's like the first time is with I'd probably say with it probably first happens in Last of the Jedi or whatever it is, The Last Jedi,
Yeah.
where you first see Snoke, and then Snoke gets wiped from the planet. He gets sliced in half, and then that's it. And then it's like oh my God, Snoke, and then that's it.
Yeah.
He dies.
He's gone.
And then it goes to it's like oh my God, like Luke's gonna fight Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
It was just like he's using force projection, and then he dies from it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then
oh my God, it's
yeah.
Palpatine, and he dies. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's not that he dies, but they reveal him. He's like, I'm the last Sith. I'm all the Sith. And then she goes, I'm all the Jedi. And then she just wins.
Yeah. I'm the Sith, and I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
I can't move like I used to.
I'm 1,000 years old.
You're my grandbaby. I had sex once, and I made you. Like, God, Palpatine. Who's getting with Palpatine's wrinkly ass?
It's such a bad thing. I don't know why they decided to jump on that.
I don't know, man. It was weird. I was like, what?
They could have at least, like, said that Snoke died and then had another Snoke come up.
Yeah.
And just be like, I cloned myself. I would have accepted that more than... Because then Snoke would be like, I'm all the Sith. And at least if they replaced that with Snoke, I would have actually been more happy with the movie, probably.
Even in, like, if we're going deep into the Star Wars lore, did you watch Solo?
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck was up with, like, Darth Maul being alive, like, at the end?
Oh, well, because that was just a different time because he was still alive.
Is that what it is?
He was still alive all the way up until they got really old. Like, when Obi-Wan turned into Ben Kenobi, that's the last time Darth Maul was ever seen because he got killed. Literally.
Well, how, like... Because the time frame doesn't match up for me.
No, it does. So, when...
Well, okay, how much older is Han Solo than Luke?
I think he's, like, a little bit,
Because, like, Han Solo in that movie is, like, 25. I'd say, right? Would you agree with me? Okay.
Probably.
So if Darth Maul's still alive, Luke hasn't even been conceived yet.
No, he has. He definitely has.
No. Because Anakin is still a baby at the end of Phantom Menace. Anakin's like 7 at the end of Phantom Menace.
Did you watch any of, like, the animated series of the Clone Wars or
No,
Rebels?
I'm just going based off Phantom Menace, where I watched Darth Maul get chopped in half.
That was the last time he was ever seen.
Yeah.
And in the show, the Clone Wars, he actually survived.
He survived getting chopped in half
and falling down that,
and falling down an abyss
because of his anger. He survived through the powers of, like, the Sith being so, like, filled with rage that he constructed, like, he made, like, a tarantula body out of scraps. And he just lived in garbage for, like, literal, like, years. That's all he did. And he's originally from this planet. I don't remember what it's called, but, like, the Night Sisters, like, they're witches, and the other ones are warriors. The men are all warriors. All the females are witches.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, your brother's still alive out there somewhere or something. And it's like, here's a tracker because we have his, like, soul connected to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we're able to locate his soul. And then he found him. And then they brought him back and they, like, refixed his mind and they gave him, like, giant, like, legs or something. And that's pretty much how he came back.
What the fuck?
And then it skips all the way to the end of the Clone Wars, which actually just came out a couple of years ago, because they're like, we kind of just want to finish this off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it was a long series, I think, right?
Yeah.
So
it's like 8 or 9 seasons.
it's like, goddamn.
But the thing is, like, the last season, if it was 9 seasons, this was the 9th season that came out not too long ago. The 8th season came out, like, years ago. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say, like, 2014, 2015. And then they're like, we're going to drop one final season. Just, like, end it all. And this is, like
2019.
Yeah, and the very last season was as Order 66 was happening for Ahsoka. Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
Skywalker's Padawan.
Yeah. Ahsoka's pretty cool.
And Maul's like, I had this like vision that Palpatine is like up to something with the clones. Don't know what it is though. And he's like, beware. And
So it's like
he gets captured and he goes on the ship with Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
And he predicts, he's like, it's happening now. He can hear like everyone can hear the screams of like the Jedi being murdered. And he just escapes. And then that's the last time he's seen.
So it's like, is Maul like chill now or no? Is he still?
Now I'm gonna get to that part. And then now in Rebels,
Yeah.
this is now like years later.
Yeah.
This is when Obi-Wan's now an old man. Ahsoka's now like her own Jedi, but she's not like technically a Jedi because she left the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
So she's like her own thing. And there's like this new group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And you see old man like Darth Maul. He's got his cane and stuff. He's like as old as like
Yoda.
Ben Solo. At
Yoda.
That time.
He's as old as Yoda,
No.
like 900 years old.
And he's still trying to get like the secrets of like Sith powers and stuff or whatever. His only goal at this point now, he's like, I just want to find Obi-Wan and kill him. He's like, I sense that he survived somewhere. I'm like, I feel him through like the Force or something. And his only goal is pretty much to find out where he lives.
I'll find you one day.
So he abuses the main characters to sway them into getting him there. He gets there, and like the final scene with Darth Maul, they set up for like a fight scene again, and he goes back to the exact same position that he was gonna kill Qui-Gon with, because Obi-Wan went to the same form as Qui-Gon, because he like. Obi-Wan has this thing where he sticks out his hand, and he sticks out like 2 fingers, and that's how he fights.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon fights like towards his chest with the lightsaber up.
Yeah.
So Obi-Wan switched to this, and Darth Maul switched to his stance to kill Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
And he already was coming up, so they went clash, and then he sliced him in half. And that was the end of it.
So at least he lived a good, full, healthy life.
So Darth Maul just died. It was really sad, but I'm like, I guess that's a way to end up his character, because his only thing is he pretty much was to kill Obi-Wan for what he did.
Yeah.
Which he never did.
Which Obi-Wan was already dead. He couldn't even live with himself.
Then it pans to Obi-Wan looking over Luke, and Luke's like a teenager.
Oh.
At that time. That same time that Darth Maul died.
Okay. See, because when I was watching that, I was like, okay, Anakin, if Darth Maul's alive, then that means that Anakin is like 6, and like and Han's like 25 at this point. So that means like Han has to be literally like 40 years older than Luke.
I would drop him like just based off like what it looks like. I'd say he's probably like 10 years older than him. Roughly.
I'd say that too.
I'd say at max, they're probably like 10-year difference.
Probably a 10-year difference, max. But yeah, so like going purely based off that, I was like, dude, that like ruins everything for me. Cause it's like,
no, you have to watch all the shows.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't up to date on my shows.
Maybe watch like The Mandalorian.
No, I haven't watched The Mandalorian, but I am actually no, I'm not. I haven't watched Hawkeye. I was like, I'm up to date on my Marvel, but not my Star Wars. But I haven't watched.
You're
Hawkeye.
probably gonna like Mandalorian better than any other Star Wars movie.
Really?
I'm gonna be honest.
Dude, I really like the Star Wars movies.
The Mandalorian is so much better. And if you ever watched the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian history in there, you would even know that it's like really cool.
My favorite character is always like Boba and Jango Fett, and so like he's like that. He is a bounty hunter, and so it's like I always like the bounty hunters in general.
Well, they also came out with a show called The Book of Boba Fett,
which I might actually enjoy.
You can't watch that until you watch Mandalorian.
Fuck. I just know.
Or you're not gonna enjoy it.
Well, The Mandalorian is like more recent, so I won't say spoilers on it.
The thing is, The Mandalorian is probably like one of my favorite characters, and they have some of the best story and the best fight scenes. You wouldn't expect it.
Baby Yoda.
Now I gotta go into the lore of like a little bit of The Mandalorian, so you don't have to watch all of the Clone Wars.
Okay, well, the only thing I don't like about The Mandalorian is how they made 8 billion Funkos for.
But I'll just tell you about that off podcast, so nobody has to listen to boring ass.
Yeah.
Fucking
Because I was like,
Mandalorian stuff.
we're already 15 minutes over.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do it anyways, even if we had time.
Be like, oh, now it's time to talk about the Mandalorian, and it's like a 3-hour podcast now. Like, oh god damn it.
Oh well.
Goodbye.
Yeah. This is a weird way to end it, but we're just gonna.
Yeah, but
We're done now.
We're done.